You're lying to yourself, brother. You are lying to yourself. How do I know that? How do I know that for sure? How do I dare to say that? You're lying to yourself. Because I'm lying to myself too. And I just wanted to call out the cautionary tale over here. What do I mean by that? Many times, and I would say throughout pretty much every single day of our lives, we are just simply facing this resentment in ourselves. We just simply do not want to do things, and we are just feeling that like something is just so bad, and I don't want to do this, and like I'm feeling this anger and this resentment towards other people, and I'm hate talking about the government and so on and so forth. And so we are just having this resentment in ourselves. So just to give you a practical example about this, today I woke up with this huge rush, and I was like, man, like I really do not want to do anything today, and I just really do not want to do these things anymore, I don't want to come out here running again, and so on and so forth, despite of yesterday having this huge energy. And so what have happened over here is that when I started running, I just had everything in my mind popping up like, bro, you should be quitting, you're supposed to be doing something else, you're just simply supposed to be going back home and eat properly, and then just quit everything and sleep and just have a rest day, and so on and so forth. Every single thing, my mind is just chattering, and I decided not to stop. And so what is happening throughout every single moment of those, and this is true for the cold showers too. So just to give you an even more practical, or would say an example that you can associate more with cold showers, brothers. When you're getting under the cold showers, there is no damn human being who enjoys the very first seconds of a cold shower. It's like fucking freezing. It's like you want to get out there. You want to get out from there. You want to get out from that place. You don't want to be there. It's like simple. It's like your body doesn't want that. Your body wants to keep its temperature. Your body doesn't want cold showers. Simple. And so the same thing with running. Your body doesn't want a running session many times in the morning. It's like, I mean, like today my body was like, man, like you do not necessarily want this. But as I'm going through this, my body is getting used to it. As I'm getting to the first mile or 2 kilometers or so, around like this distance, I'm like, okay, now I think that I'm getting, into the peace and so on and so forth. My mind is getting slower, so on and so forth, and all these noises that I just simply thank them. Hey, but like, you should be skipping. You're supposed to be giving up. You're supposed to be like, man, just stop, and so on and so forth. The same thing with the cold shower. It's like, man, you're supposed to be just jumping out of the shower cabin, and so on and so forth. After a minute or two, it's like, okay, bro, like now I'm getting used to it. And so every single time when we are telling to ourselves that, hey, man, you cannot do that. Hey, man, you're supposed to be doing something easier. This is every single time my mind is just simply telling to us to choose the easier path, because this is how we are programmed. And so this could be super easily explained. We are just simply wired. So if you will, so our brain is basically a dopamine release activity seeker, if you will. So what is giving us the highest dopamine, like reward, like what is giving us the highest reward? For example, go and eat the fucking McDonald's. That would be giving me a reward, and I would go there and I would eat that for damn sure. If I wouldn't have this discipline, and if I wouldn't be coordinating my mind to get the dopamine from somewhere else. For example, cold showers and getting a running session done, or reading, or making my calls in my business, and so on and so forth. And so every single time our mind is just looking for the easier opportunity when we are faced with the harder situation. For example, running. It's like, no, bro, like stop, go the fuck back home and eat. Easier, way easier. And so the point is that every single time when our mind is telling us those things, and especially when it's telling us to stop and to quit, and you're not able to do that, and so on and so forth, it is lying to you, brother. It is lying to you. And many times we are just simply buying into that lie. Many times we are just buying into that lie when we are telling to ourselves that, hey man, like, I cannot do that thing today. I cannot do that. BS. You can't do that. Obviously you can do that. Of course you can do that. You've done it before. And so this is the thing that we have to be fighting with, brothers. The enemy is not outside of us. The enemy is not the other person who made us feel a certain way. The enemy is not the system who is making us to act in a certain way. The enemy is not outside of us. The enemy is inside. And I know that this might sound a broken record, but I just wanted to re-examine this and give some practical examples, and especially some practical examples that are coming up on this journey. And so the other thing will be with NoFap. You have the thing that I've been talking about yesterday. You have a huge amount of energy, and you just really do not know what to do that many times, and you just simply have to find a way to channel that energy. And so many times you are thinking about, hey man, like, let's just release that thing. But as you're getting more and more weathered, you're learning how to channel those things. You're learning how to fight those things. And this is why I'm talking about discipline so much, because this is the most important muscle, brother. You can't have 60-inch biceps if you do not have the discipline. I mean, if you have 16-inch biceps, and if you've done it naturally, naturally, then chances are high that you have discipline. Chances are high that you have discipline. Although on the other hand, you might have like a swollen body, and you can be, you can look like a tough person, but you might be just crying in your bed all the time because you just do not have the discipline to go through those things, to go through the harder things. And so, brothers and sisters, keep out for this thing, because this is something that is boggling me many days. It's that my mind is just lying to myself. Today it just told me that I cannot do that thing, and I still done that. It's like, it's not true, bro. And we are lying to ourselves many days. And especially when we are having a shittier day, if you will, so we are just lying to ourselves. Hey bro, like, today will be a shitty day, like you are determining it for that, for example, and you'll be like, man, like, I do not want to do anything today. And so we are just simply setting up ourselves for failure. And so this is how we are lying to ourselves, brothers and sisters, and I don't want you to buy into that thing. I don't want myself to buy into that thing. This is why I'm fighting with this thing so many days. This is why I'm coming out for the running session every single day. Because it's easy to run when you have the energy, and especially when you have the mood. It is not that easy when you do not have the mood for that. And going through that resentment always helps you to get to the proper place. Always helps you to reframe that thing, to really understand that. And that's the way, though. Go through those resentments. And don't buy into the lie, brothers and sisters. Love.